Hold on, what is this? This is from a video game. Okay, I guess I'm satisfied. Robbie was driving his Model 3 westbound on Highway 4 in Concord, California. Traffic came to a complete stop, and so did Robbie, but the car behind him didn't. Robbie's Tesla was rear-ended, causing it to spin around. He hit the Hyundai in front of him and the Prius to his left before he rolled into the barrier. The driver of the Dodge didn't see the traffic had stopped until he was just a car's length away from Robbie. That's when the driver locked up his brakes before hitting Robbie at full speed. Incredibly, everyone involved was able to walk away from the accident. It was just a normal day when Jeff was driving his Model X home after work in Auckland, New Zealand. Jeff thought nothing of it as he passed a guy driving a Mitsubishi Galant. Apparently, the Mitsubishi driver got really offended by Jeff's overtake. This started some of the craziest road rage we've ever seen on this channel. The video you're about to watch ended up being used as evidence in court to prove charges of attempted assault, reckless driving, behaving threateningly, and causing over $45,000 of damage to Jeff's Tesla. Okay, let's dive straight into the action. Get ready because this video keeps ramping up and gets crazier and crazier. About 3 miles down the road after the overtake, the Mitsubishi driver wound up for his attack. He stopped in the middle of the road, and when Jeff noticed the guy opening his door, he floored it to get out of there. At this point, Jeff knew that something was off when the other driver, who'd been tailgating him, pulled this stunt. Jeff knew he had to get away from him. Unfortunately, traffic was building up, so there really wasn't anywhere for him to go, and the Mitsubishi driver quickly caught up with him. We can see the driver gesturing in his car. Next, he starts tailgating Jeff extremely closely. After pulling in front of Jeff again, the guy brake checks him before coming to a complete stop, once more blocking both lanes. Jeff took evasive action and quickly drove around him. This sent the other driver into full Mad Max mode, and he finally decided that he wanted to ram Jeff. First, he sideswiped the Tesla, nearly losing control in the process. Once he regained control, he continued to block Jeff. Jeff tried to get away again, but he closed the gap and both vehicles were immobilized. Gavin was driving his Model X behind a semi doing 10 miles per hour in stop-and-go traffic. It happened to be raining, and Gavin was in the exit lane when this suddenly happened. Gavin blacked out in the crash. When he woke up, first responders advised him to stay in the car until they could pry the doors open with the jaws of life. While he waited for firefighters to arrive, he had time to review the Teslacam footage to get an understanding of what had happened. The car behind him had left a wide opening between them, but a box truck traveling at 50 miles per hour or more thought they could take advantage of the opening. Unfortunately, the driver didn't account for slick roads caused by the rain and lost control. The box truck slammed into the Tesla and the momentum pushed Gavin forward. This pinned his Tesla between the box truck and the trailer of the semi in front of him. When it got pinned between two trucks, the Tesla crumpled like an accordion, with all the doors getting stuck shut. Gavin could have climbed out of the window, but the fire department didn't want him to try since he had lost consciousness in the accident. Luckily, he'd been wearing his seatbelt, but the impact had caused him to slam his head into the steering wheel. Eventually, firefighters ripped the door off the car using the jaws of life, and Gavin was safely extracted. Gavin was taken to the emergency room with a concussion, but before they took him away, the first responders mentioned something to him that they had found strange. Apparently, none of the airbags in the Tesla had deployed. Technically, the Tesla had been in 2 accidents. The first was when the truck hit it from behind, and the second was when it was forced into the semi-trailer. This leaves us wondering, shouldn't the airbags have deployed in the second crash? engaged in Dublin, Ohio, when he came to a complete stop at a red light after exiting the highway. A woman coming over the hill didn't notice the light and smashed into Jay's Tesla at about 70 miles per hour. Jay says that Autopilot did alert him before the impact, but there was nothing he or Autopilot could do to prevent it. The vehicles rolled a short distance after the impact engaged in Dublin, Ohio, when he came to a complete stop at a red light after exiting the highway. A woman coming over the hill didn't notice the light and smashed into Jay's Tesla at about 70 miles per hour. Jay says that Autopilot did alert him before the impact, but there was nothing he or Autopilot could do to prevent it. The vehicles rolled a short distance after the impact before coming to a complete stop again. Even though none of the Tesla's airbags went off, both Jay and his passenger were alright.
Ben was driving on the highway in California, USA as he encountered a speeding Honda driver. The Honda driver was driving recklessly even though there was a police car right next to Ben. After a few hundred meters, the Honda driver decided to brake check the semi. Chaos erupted immediately, but it wasn't over yet. Ben had to use his Tesla torque to make way for the coming bus. Ben barely managed to escape a crash. The Honda driver wasn't as lucky though. The semi couldn't react in time and ended up rear-ending the Honda, which sent it flying. Now let's use our hyper-realistic crash recreation software to recreate the crash.
Stan from North Brunswick, New Jersey, had owned his Model Y for 5 days when this incident occurred as he was driving on Route 1 approaching a red light. The Chevy pickup truck next to him stopped properly for the light, but the Honda CR-V behind him barely slowed down before rear-ending the pickup. The impact pushed the Chevy into the concrete median barrier and then into another Honda CR-V right in front of it. Ladies and gentlemen, our very first double #Honda bump.
Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Cybertruck? My friends all drive diesel, I must make a man.